Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. Let's talk about Chris Jericho potentially coming back to WWE. But first, the Bleacher Report came out with their top 25 male WWE superstars of the past 25 years. And we'll do a longer video sort of breaking down their top 25 and even if their top 5 are accurate. But they did rank the top 25 male WWE superstars of the past 25 years. And speaking of Chris Jericho got ranked number 5. So number 1 was John Cena, number 2 was Randy Orton, number 3 was Roman Reigns, number 4 was Rey Mysterio, and number 5 was Chris Jericho. Now, I don't really agree with their top 10. I definitely agree with number 1, and I definitely agree that Roman Reigns and Randy Orton should be there, but I don't agree with Rey Mysterio or Chris Jericho being in the top 5 of the top 25 male WWE superstars of the last 25 years. But regardless of that, Chris Jericho is one of the best to ever do it, and he is one of the most recognizable WWE / AEW / professional wrestlers of all time. Some of the stuff that Chris Jericho has done has been absolutely legendary. And he made the decision to go to AEW, and he was in part the reason why AEW built some steam early on because of his star power. I think he had a lot to do with the TV deals and sort of the realness and the legitness of AEW. But then somewhere down the line in his AEW tenure, he got really bad. Like, he was putting on really bad performances. His storylines, everything about what Chris Jericho was putting on TV was garbage. And because of that, it almost ruined the totality of his career. Again, Bleacher Report has him in the top 5 of greatest superstars of the last 25 years. Above The Undertaker, above Kurt Angle, above Seth Rollins, above Daniel Bryan, above Brock Lesnar, above Edge, above Triple H, above all of these people. They put Chris Jericho up there because of his longevity, the history he's made, the impact he's made on the business, him being in WWE and WCW and AEW and all these places. But because of his time in AEW, it almost ruined the legacy of his career. And then finally, people are asking, where's Chris Jericho? What's Chris Jericho doing next? A lot of people think he's coming back to WWE. Well, it just came out that he's been off TV in AEW since April, and Tony Khan has said that his contract doesn't go out for months, and Tony Khan loves Chris Jericho. He's just simply been off TV. He needed to get off TV because what he was doing on TV was ruining the product and ruining his legacy. So Tony Khan claims that he might have Chris Jericho back. He loves Chris Jericho. He's just been off TV because he's just been off TV, and he has still months left on his contract. And so months left on his contract. I'm recording this on October 19th, so months left on his contract could lead us to the new year. That's 2 months. So it could potentially lead us to Chris Jericho making his WWE return at the Royal Rumble. Or even cooler, because we've seen John Cena use the Walls of Jericho in his match versus AJ Styles to pay homage to Chris Jericho and what he's done for his career and for WWE. Could we see Chris Jericho be in John Cena's last match or last day? Because I still predict that John Cena's final match should be a gauntlet match where you have The Miz and you have The Rock and you have Chris Jericho and you have Gunther and you have Joe Hendry and have Randy Orton all in there wrestling John Cena for sort of the back whole hour of the show, and then he has a farewell speech and then it's off to the sunset. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they want to give Gunther the rub, and they're going to have him beat John Cena, who potentially at the time could be holding the IC title. That's another rumor I talked about in a previous video. But what if Chris Jericho were to return to WWE in that gauntlet-style match against John Cena? How cool would that be? I don't think it's going to happen, but that's potentially might happen. Or they save it for the Royal Rumble, knowing they've made deals in the back, maybe knowing that Chris Jericho for sure is returning to WWE, and the rumor is that he's going to have his sort of farewell retirement tour in 2026, and then in April he's going to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, which would be interesting because AJ Styles has also said that 2026 is his last year in professional wrestling. So you could have Chris Jericho and AJ Styles exiting as professional wrestlers in the year 2026. You already have John Cena leaving in 2025. I mean, we're losing a whole generation of some of the best performers we've ever seen, and that makes you think, who's going to pick up the slack? Is it going to be the Braun Breaker? Is it going to be the Brunson Reed? Is Seth Rollins going to continue to do his thing? Where's Cody Rhodes going to go? Is Roman Reigns going to continue to be the god of WWE? Is Jey Uso going to come into play even more? What about LA Knight? All these people potentially sort of picking up the slack, not so much as Chris Jericho, even even though he's been a superstar in the business for the last 30 years, but someone like AJ Styles, who can still put together absolute masterpiece storylines and matches with literally anyone in WWE. So what's going to happen? Is Chris Jericho going to stay in AEW and sort of finish out his tenure of a couple months and then make a big return to WWE at John Cena's final match at the Royal Rumble? Will we actually see WWE give Chris Jericho sort of a farewell tour? It won't ever be like John Cena's year long, but it might be a couple weeks. It might be a match. It might sort of be like Goldberg's potential thing, or you might see Chris Jericho have one last really, 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 really good feud that leads up until WrestleMania. He gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. He has his final match at WrestleMania, and then Chris Jericho is done, and he can sort of do whatever he wants. He can do Chris Jericho's cruise. He can do his band. He can do his podcast. He's got so much stuff going on, and he's such a well-recognized name in the industry that he could literally do whatever he wants. And I'm sure he has enough money at this point, but I don't have any idea. So those are potential options for Chris Jericho. And again, we'll do a longer video breaking down the Bleacher Report's top 25 male superstars of the last 25 years. But because of this video, Chris Jericho got ranked number 5. And so that's very interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. Then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.